Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Aklon here, and welcome back to each and one of you. I've been trying to make this video for the last 3 hours. I can't. That's the simple fact. I can't. I should be able to cover this in a impartial and rational manner. I should be able to make a logical argument for all of you to follow. The truth is, what logical argument? What possible logical thing could anyone ever fucking say that makes this okay? Or that puts this into focus? And I want to be clear, I'm not an emotional guy. I'm not a guy that loses my shit. I don't cry with sad movies. I don't experience emotions, I suppose, the same as most other people. As my brothers used to likes to say, I'm dead inside, right? But this, learning about this, it's been a wild ride. It's been a weird one, you know. I woke up yesterday, same as everyone else, to an absolute shitstorm on Twitter. My initial thoughts were, like they always are, you know, innocent until proven guilty. I then, after my stream, read through the entirety of the court document. Now, for those of you that isn't sure, Blizzard is being sued by California, the state of California, for sexual harassment, for women suffering incredible sexual harassment at the hands of superiors. So my first thoughts were innocent until proven guilty until I read the court document and I realized this is the result of 2 years of investigations. The amount of evidence that they field in the court document is incredible. Like, there is no denying that even if half of what the state of California is saying happened, even if half of that is true, it is incredible, and it is an incredible atrocity to imagine that a company that we all care about, that most of us have grown up with, that a company like that could be that fucking sick, that men could do stuff like that. Some of the stories, you know, you had a girl commit suicide. There's a lot of conflicting stuff here, right? Let's imagine that she did not commit suicide directly related to the abuse and the harassment that she had been suffering from. You have to think that it had something to do with it. Sure, maybe the rest of her life was falling apart as well, but there's no way that your pictures, your naked pictures, are passed around the office party and that does not have a profound effect on you. And if you're already suffering from depression, that's just going to make things so much fucking worse. So I don't know how to cover this in a fair and impartial manner, so I'm not going to. Instead, I think I have a couple of things that I would like to say, a couple of things that I would like to get off my chest, and then I'm gonna do what everyone else does and simply wait to hear what is going on and what is happening next. To the woman, and it's now coming out that it's not just women. I saw 2 posts, at least last night, on Twitter, of men who used to work at Blizzard who suffered great sexual harassment at the hands of superiors. One of the guys actually spoke out how superiors would constantly tell him, you and your wife and me, you know, let's go. They would suggest all of these incredibly sexual scenarios in which they would want him and his wife to engage with them. That's okay. It's just not fucking okay. You don't do something like that. Not in the workplace of all things, you know. At a swingers party, sure, everyone there has signed up for the same fucking thing. But not at work, where no one has signed up for this, right? I want to get there, I want to make my games. I do not want to get there and hear about my wife's private parts and the things that you want to do to my wife. So to all of the victims that have been suffering through this, I can't really apologize because I know for a fact that it's not gonna help. The apology has to come from the person that actually did this shit. But I don't think apologies are enough. I, for one, do not believe that Blizzard can get rid of this by simply putting out a PR statement saying how sorry they are and how they'll do better. The time for doing better is over. The people that have done this need to pay the consequences. They have to answer for the shit that they had done, because if you are causing someone else's life to become a fucking nightmare, that is a freedom that you do not have. That is a freedom that does not belong to you. I do hope that these men or women or whoever, because I don't think it's just men either, that are the perpetrators and the predators in this scenario. We're yet to learn all of the ins and outs, but I know for a fact, I covered a story 2 years ago of a guy who worked for Blizzard Entertainment who left eventually because of racism. This was a Mexican guy. His dream job was to work at Blizzard. When he finally arrived in the States and he got his job at Blizzard Entertainment, he was met by a female superior with the most incredible racism. And I don't know what happened to that female superior, but I'm pretty sure she's still at the company. This is a power thing. Whenever someone gets into power, there are certain people that just do not deserve power because they cannot fucking handle it. So to all of that woman, for whatever it's worth, I am sorry for what you went through. And I can tell you this much. The gamers of Blizzard Entertainment are with you. And we hope that these people, these predators, will pay for what they had done. In fact, we will it. We want that to happen. But then I also want to talk just very briefly about the men and women of Blizzard who knew that this shit was going on and yet did nothing. Was that to protect your career? Was that to protect your clique, your position within the clique? Maybe you didn't want to be on the outside, and so you just shut the fuck up. Fuck you. Screw you with your, it's not my story to tell, it wasn't my story to tell. No one said that you had to tell the story of the person that you saw this happening to, but you could have told the story of the predator that's doing it. You could have gone to the media, you could have outed them on Twitter, you could have done something to help these people that is suffering at the hands of fucking scumbags, because that's what they are. Scumbags. And then lastly, now that that's out of the way, and for those of you that don't know where that came from, on Twitter, there's been a bunch of people coming out saying, oh, I've known for years that this was going on. I stand with my brothers and sisters, or whatever the fuck. If you knew for years, then you are just as fucking guilty. And I'm always reminded of this quote. I can't remember now who said it, but all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. It rings so fucking true today. Because all it takes for a predator to do this shit to multiple women is for the good men and women who this isn't happening to and who isn't doing it to go, well, you know, not my place. I'm just gonna turn a blind eye and fucking leave, right? You are not brave. You do not now get to stand on your fucking podium and preach how you're with your brothers or sisters or your sisters during this trying time. You should have been with them when this happened. You should have had their back when this shit happened. And you should have been willing to put your job on the line to make sure that this shit isn't happening. So you're not a hero now, not in my view anyways. I do not think that this is the vast majority of people at Blizzard that is scumbags, right? I think it's a very small minority of people. But I do think that there is a very big majority of people that knew that there were scumbags working at Blizzard Entertainment and yet still did nothing. So that is something that, you know, you're going to have to answer for one day at some point. And then lastly, I want to talk to the gamers. Us. Gentlemen, we have to do a little better. I'm not saying that we are perfect. Like, I'm not saying that you could be perfect. But you have to do a tiny bit fucking better. If you're in a guild, if you're in a community where girls are constantly being made to feel as if they don't belong, then maybe you stand up and you tell the scumbags that's making the girls feel out. You tell them to shut the fuck up, right? Maybe you kick them from the guild. Maybe you ensure that this shit doesn't happen. Personally, I think it's great that more girls are getting into gaming, and I would hope that most of you would think so too. Because here's the fucking lowdown, boys. We're nerds. We're geeks. The only way you're ever gonna get a girlfriend is if she also happens to be a fucking nerd and a geek. So the fact that girls are starting to play video games is actually a pretty good thing for you. Because contrary to popular belief, you're not gonna get the supermodel that has never picked up a fucking remote or has never touched a keyboard. She's not into you. She's gonna go for the football star and the fucking soccer star or whatever the fuck you wanna call it. She's not gonna be into you. The girl that's the nerd, the girl that loves playing games, she's likely going to be into you as long as you're not being a creep. So this, yes, is very rampant in gaming industry and in gaming companies. But over the past few years, I think we've also seen that this is a problem within our own gaming communities as well. And gentlemen, if we get to a point where defending women is no longer viewed as viable or a noble choice, then I believe we failed as a society. Years ago, men made a collective decision that it would be women and children first when a boat sank in the middle of the ocean, to protect the future generations of their bloodlines, to ensure that their generations could continue. If we as men now feel, screw it, that's not worth it, then we may as well just fucking give up. Then we may as well just bomb ourselves to hell and be done with it. And girls, this has nothing to do with you being delicate little flowers. Everyone has their own responsibilities. You have to stand up for yourself, but that does not mean that I have to stand back when I see injustice happening. When I see that this shit is just not on. This has nothing to do with you not being capable of defending yourself. It's about me also being able to stand up and say, what the fuck is this? That's it. That's the end of my rant. I don't know what else to say. I can't cover those documents because they are vile as fuck. Some of the things that happen there is disgusting, to say the very fucking least. You have men... No, I'm not even getting into it. That's it. That's the end of this video. That's the end of my discussion, because I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know what else to say, and I don't know how else to cover it. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope that this is the last time that we will hear shit like this happening, but I fucking doubt it. So take care of yourselves. I love you all very much, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.